We are continuing our work with cross multiplication and fractions. You'll see in this problem we have some mixed numbers. Step 1. Is this a proportion? Well, proportion is when you have two equal fractions. I do see an equal sign and I see two fractions. We know that we can apply the cross multiplication method when we're trying to solve a proportion and we're trying to figure out what that variable is equal to, what that missing number is. So we know that we can apply cross multiplication, so we're ready for step 2. We're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to record my sets of parentheses and my equal sign in between. Then I'm going to record the cross products. So I multiply 2 2/3 by b, and then I'm going to multiply 5 by 1 1/7. Now, when I'm multiplying 5 by 1 1/7, I need to change both of these to fractions to be able to multiply them. To change an integer to a fraction, just place it over 1. So 5 becomes 5 over 1. And then to change 1 1/7 to an improper fraction, I multiply 1 times 7, and I get 7. And then I add 1 and get 8. That goes in the numerator. The denominator remains the same, so it still remains a 7. And then on the right side, I'm just going to record 2 2/3 b. On the right side, I'm ready to multiply the numerators, this is just regular multiplication, and multiply the denominators. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40, and 1 multiplied by 7 is 7. On the left side, we just keep copying the work. A lot of times with math, it's taking your time and being careful, making it neat so we don't make any mistakes. We've completed step 2, which is cross multiplication. Step 3 says divide both sides by the coefficient. The coefficient of b is 2 2/3. That's what's keeping b from being alone. So that is what we're going to divide both sides by, 2 2/3. I don't know if it's going to let me write. There we go, it's working now. So both sides, the left and the right side, you divide by 2 2/3 inequality. On the left side, 2 2/3 divided by 2 2/3 equals 1. Anything divided by itself is equal to 1. So we're left with 1b equals, and then on the right side we have a complex fraction. When you have a fraction that contains a fraction, it's a complex fraction. Step 1 in solving a complex fraction is to make sure both the numerator and the denominator are recorded as fractions. The denominator currently is recorded as a mixed number, so I need to change that to an improper fraction. So I'm going to draw a large fraction bar. I'll put the 47ths in the numerator. That doesn't need to change, it's already a fraction. And then the 2 2/3, I'm going to multiply 2 by 3 and get 6. Then add 2, you add the numerator, I get 8. And that number goes in the numerator in my new improper fraction. The denominator remains the same, so it should stay a 3. Step 2 in solving a complex fraction is to trade out the fraction bar for a division symbol. So I'll record a division symbol instead. Then we need to remember to record the numerator first. 47ths is being divided by, and then we record the denominator second, 8/3. From here, we need to change this division to multiplication. So we apply the keep, change, reciprocal method. We keep the first fraction exactly the same. We change the division symbol to multiplication, and then we record the reciprocal of the second fraction. And then when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the numerators together. 4 times 3 is 12, so 40 times 3 would be 120. 7 times 8, we're multiplying the denominators now, is equal to 56. I notice right away that in the ones place, I have a 0 in the 120. And when I look at the number 56, the ones place is a 6. Both 6 and 0 are even, so that means that 120 and 56 are both even numbers. And even numbers can be divided by 2, or split in half. So I'm going to start reducing my fraction. Half of 120 is 60. Now I'll take 56 and divide it by 2. 2 goes into 5 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. I subtract and get 1. You cannot ask the question until you bring a number down. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. We get 0, and there's no other number to bring down. All right, 60 and 28 are also even numbers. They can be divided by 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. 28 divided by 2 is 14. I can divide each again by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. And 14 divided by 2 is 7. So the answer is 15 sevenths, or you can record this as a mixed number. 2 sevens go into 15 because 2 times 7 is 14. The difference between 15 and 14 is 1, so we have a remainder of 1, and you keep the denominator the same. So you could also say that b is equal to 2 and 1/7. So b is equal to 15 sevenths, or you could say 2 and 1/7.